trainings in the past. So I encourage you, there's a new video that's going to be released on YouTube. By the time this video is available online, that video should already be out. It's on how to become an effective presenter. And that will go more in terms of, how to open, how to present, how to close, and the whole general aspects of it with the mindsets of presenting. But today's training is going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to talk about one of the greatest tools we have, which is the 1 through 10 sit-down sheets. Sit-downs are very, very effective. The reason why sit-downs are effective is because when you go out there and you show someone the business through a sit-down, it's geared towards people that might not necessarily have time to sit through a wow party, or people that that might not necessarily be open-minded enough to come down to a wow party right away, but will be open-minded enough to come down to take a look at the business. Now, the reason why we're doing this training, the reason why we're recording this is very, very simple. Is because a lot of people have tools very, very similar to this. And again, if you're watching this video and you have another 1 through 10 or whatever, or 1 through 11, 1 through 20, it doesn't even matter what you use, what you have. So much emphasis is put on the actual tool. But I want to share with you that the tool is only as effective as the person that uses the tool. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the reason why this training is put to place, regardless of what tool you're going to use, okay, is that you're going to be well trained on how to present, how to deliver the information in a way that's going to get people to want to get started, that's going to get people involved. You're going to understand the philosophy why we use the 1 through 10, the philosophy why we do what we do. And what's going to happen is after watching this video, or for everybody in this room, after you leave this training today, what's going to happen is you're going to say to yourself, man, I have a bigger appreciation for this tool. You're going to say, man, now I have a better understanding of why we do the things we do. And what's going to happen is leaving here today, or after watching this video, you're going to be more excited. You're going to be on a mission to go out there and to continue to grow and improve and to sharpen your skills. See, a tool is only effective as the person that uses it. What does that mean? It means you can be a well-trained soldier with a pistol. Or you can be a child with the M16. Here's what's going to happen. A child with the M16, everybody knows the M16, is an assault rifle, automatic. It's a lot more effective than a pistol, right? But a child with the M16, here's what can happen. A child with M16, they don't know how to use it. They're going to spray and pray, and they might hit a target. But a well-trained soldier is going to hit a target every single time. And why do we do this business? A lot of us are doing this business because we want to make a lot of money, yes or yes? Yes. So a lot of us are doing this business because we want to have a lot of time, yes or yes? Yes. So what's going to happen is this training is going to save you, number one, a lot of money. Number two is a lot of time. It's going to change your focus on why we do what we do. Because, some people, when they look at this sheet, they put all the emphasis on the tool, they put all the emphasis on the sheet, on the presentation, and what's crazy about it is the presentation is only about 10%. This sheet is only about 10%. It's what you do, it's what your agent does while this is going on. Does that make sense? Yes. So we're going to talk about that now. Going out there, everyone wants to learn how to present, everyone wants to learn how to train, all these different things, but this is where it starts. It starts going out there, sharing people the opportunity. Now, here's what happens, okay? If you're bronze and silver, by that time you should be masters of it. And before you get to that point of bronze and silver, you want to clock in your hours and watch as many 1 through 10s as possible. You want to watch as many sit-downs as possible. Yep. And without going into too much detail about the psychology behind it, what's crazy about the human mind, and I'll give you an example. How many of you have read a book before, and as you're reading the book, you got so lost into the book? Yep. Yes. Right? It's talking about how Johnny is going through the jungle. It's hot. He's sweating. It's sticky. Mosquitoes are flying right past him. And as he grabs the machete, cutting down the grass, you feel like you're Johnny, true or not true? Yeah. And then someone comes in and you're like, hey, you can't even pay attention because you felt like you were there. Now what's crazy about the human mind is the human mind cannot tell the difference whether you're doing something or someone else is doing something. What does that mean? That means as you watch someone do the presentation, you watch with the intentions of learning how to do it. Your brain can't tell the difference between whether they're doing it or you're doing it, because as you're watching it, you're putting yourself there. You're imagining yourself saying the words. You're imagining yourself doing the training. And because of that, here's what ends up happening. The funniest thing happens because when you graduate from the sit-down, obviously you're going to start speaking at the corporate overviews, the VIP events. And what happens is a lot of speakers, when it's their first time, they're so nervous and so scared. They're like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I've never done this before. You know what I mean? They're like freaking out, right? But what's crazy about that is that because you've seen this so many times, when it's your turn to do it, all of a sudden your mind is going to recall all this information that you didn't even know you knew. And the reason why that is because you've seen it so many times that it became a part of you. You're learning through what we call osmosis. And that's why we encourage you, right? Kind of a little backstory. Back in ancient times, you had a master and you had an apprentice. And the apprentice, all their job is to do is to watch and shadow the master. And as they do that, that's how they learn it. So understand how you're going to become effective in this business is you're going to shadow somebody. You're going to watch someone that knows what they're doing, watch it, learn it, and then do it. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, now the reason why we also set up this training, so as you guys go out there and do it, what ends up happening is when you're brand new, you have so many stories, so many examples to call from, and a lot of us think it's all about the information, and the information is powerful, but it's how you deliver it, which I'm going to show you how to do. But more importantly, I want you to understand, people will forget what you say. They will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. Yep. Okay? So that's what we're going to focus on. It's not what we say, it's how we're going to make people feel based on what we say. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And all of you are going to be more effective presenters. We're going to touch a little bit on how to be an effective storyteller. We're going to touch on how to paint the picture, how to include people in. A lot of the psychology that's behind it to become more effective. Now here's what I'm going to share with you. A lot of the stuff I'm going to share with you today is going to allow you to become better effective presenters. And your closing ratio for a lot of you is going to increase about 400 to 600%. Which means you're going to close a lot of people. Right? The last 8 sit-downs I've done, I signed out 8 out of 8. Now, I'm not saying I have a 100% ratio, but that's what it has been for the last 8 sit-downs. But the reason why is because when you know what you're doing and you do it enough times, here's what happens. You can create predictable results. It's like bowling. When you go out there and bowl, you're going to suck in the very beginning, but what do they teach you to do? Number one, find your stance that you're comfortable with. Find your flow. Once you become comfortable and you start getting strikes, what do? You try to figure out how you can reproduce the same stance, the same flow, the same release every single time. And that's how you need to do with this business, that when you get a result, you got to ask yourself, how did I get these results? And once you understand how you get those results, and if you do more of it, what are you going to do? You're going to create more of those results, sure or not sure? Sure. So that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? So the sit down, again, a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the sheet, but it's not so much the sheet. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, okay? So number one, what is your goal? Why do we go out there? Why do we do what we do? Okay? Now, I'm going to introduce you to a concept that we talk about a lot. And again, a lot of the stuff, watch the presentation training on YouTube. Mr. Timmer has one, I have one. That's going to help fill up the rest of the gaps, right? But you have to understand that there's something called vision-oriented building. Vision-oriented building. And this is the first concept that you truly have to understand. Okay? It's called vision-oriented building versus random-oriented building. Understanding this right here will already raise up your closing ratio, sign someone started. Now again, what I'm about to share with you is going to help you become an effective presenter, and you're going to be able to get more people started in the business. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is, as you can use this for good, you can use this for bad. I want to share this with you. There's 2 rules. Number one, never close someone to get started in the business if they do not want to get started in the business. Number one, you're going to waste your time, you're going to waste your energy. But number 2, you might get them involved in the business, but they're not going to stick around and they're going to quit because you hard closed them, you got them involved. Does that make sense? Now number 2 is you never, like I said, never close anyone to get started that they don't want to get started. Number 2 is never force anyone to buy something that they don't want to buy. Does that make sense? Everything you're doing is to contribute to people. It's to benefit them, not you. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, right? So obviously, if someone's sitting down and they want to get started, but they're scared, they're nervous, they're doubtful, but they want to get involved, you know this, guess what? You're going to close until they get started, because why? It's for their benefit. How many of you can tell the difference? Yes. Okay? So, vision-oriented building versus random-oriented building, and this is the biggest difference between amazing presenters and horrible presenters. See, when I first started building the business, the biggest mistake I made when I went out there to present people the information was that's all I did. I presented people the information. I just randomly build it. What should we do? We should present to people, yes or yes? Yes. We should launch people, yes or yes? Yes. See, these are 2 things that we're supposed to do, but the person that's doing it, knowing why they're doing it with a vision, will have more results than the person that's just doing it because that's what they're supposed to do. Okay? Random-oriented building, here's what it looks like. Imagine a person that's laying brick and mortar. They're laying brick and mortar. They're just putting brick and mortar down, brick and mortar down, brick and mortar down. That's all they're doing. How long do you think it's going to take for them to get demotivated? How long do you think it's going to take for them to start taking rejection personally? Very high, right? Because what happens? They don't know why they're doing it. They're just, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then guess what happens? Eventually they're going to fall off. Eventually they're going to get bored. They're going to get tired. They're going to complain. They're going to want to quit. They want to take breaks. But vision-oriented building is very, very simple. You see, the second type of person I want you to imagine is also laying down brick and mortar, which means they're doing the same activity. But the second person is laying down brick and mortar, they know that they're building a house, their dream home. So imagine the person that's building their dream home that's laying down brick and mortar. With every brick and mortar laid down, do you think they're going to get demotivated or motivated? Motivated. Motivated, why? Because they know everything they're doing is bringing them one step closer to accomplishing their goals and their dreams. Does that make sense? Yes. So what happened was when I first got involved, I was horrible about this business. And here's what I learned that I want to share with all of you. People that are watching this, people that are here taking notes. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to become great. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For me, you're seeing me, for my public praises, but you never saw me for my private sacrifices, my private failures. So what happened was when I first got involved, I was horrible, I was bad, and I learned this stuff. Now, what's crazy about that is when I got started, YouTube didn't even exist yet, so no one thought about recording training videos. In fact, when they record training videos, it was put on a VHS, for your VCR. And some of you are looking at me like I'm crazy, like you don't even know what that is, right? But, that's how it was started. And, I remember I was frustrated. I looked at my upline, I was like, look, no one's getting started. And he'd ask me, he goes, how many people have got started in your business this month? I go, 0. He goes, are you not working? I go, I'm working. I'm going out there. I'm putting my business out there. I'm showing this business to people. And he says, well, what is your goal? What is your vision? What is your objective? And I said, my objective is to show people the information. That's what you said, right? Just show people the information. And he says, well, that's the problem, because what you focus on what? Expands. We already know that. What you focus on expands. And guess what? You're going to get what you want when you focus on it. So if you're focusing on showing people the information, guess what results you're going to get? Showing people the information. But how many of you can agree with me that just because you're showing someone the information, does that guarantee they're going to get started? No, all that means is you're showing them the information. So the biggest mistake that I used to make when I used to present is my focus is showing people the presentation. And I was upset because I didn't get results. Until I realized I was getting the results I wanted every single time. Does that make sense? Yes. My focus is just showing people the information. That's what I was focusing on. But guess what result I got? Just showing people the information. So did I accomplish my goal? Yes, that's what I focused on. And then my mentor elevated my thinking. He says, well, Julian, it's about vision-oriented building. I go, what is that? He goes, number one is you have to know why you're doing this business. Why we're doing this business, we all have different reasons. And understand the reason why I'm doing this business is not because I love skincare. I love the products, don't get me wrong. We have the best products, the most demonstratable products, the most duplicatable products. That's why I'm in this company, right? But I didn't join because I love the products, because I love skincare. I didn't grow up saying, when I grow up, one day I want to work for a great skincare company. You have to understand that. My vision is very, very simple. I want to go out there. I want to be able to go out there and travel. I want to make a difference in the lives of people. I want to go out there and find people that are like me, that are lost and confused, that have low self-esteem, low confidence, that no one believed in, and show them that they're capable of becoming more than they are. That's my vision. So when you have a vision, guess what? You're laying down brick and mortar like everybody else, presenting information like everybody else. But everything you're doing is bringing you one step closer. Does that make sense? So vision-oriented building, right? If that works with our business, if that works on our life, guess what? That also works in showing people the business. Now, here's my biggest question to you. Why do we show people the business? To get them started. Shouldn't that be the reason why?
Yes.
Because if someone gets started in our business, do we have more people to work with?
Yes.
If we have more people to work with, do we have more people to develop and build?
Yes.
If we have more people to develop and build and help make money, well, we make more money.
Yes.
So that's our focus. So understand, if you're going into a presentation, but you have no intention of signing someone up, chances are you're not going to sign someone up. So you have to understand that every single thing that we do, when we train people, when we launch people, when we invite people, when we present, it's not for our own health. Does that make sense? We're not just doing it because it's fun. It's what we love to do. We're doing it because there's a place where we want to go, and what we're doing is to find the people that have a vision too. And locking arms together, working with each other, helping each other accomplish our vision through this vehicle which we call Seacret. That is what we do. So why do we present to someone? Number one, the psychology is very, very simple. Your mindset is very, very simple. If someone doesn't join, it's okay. You're still going to get rich. If someone doesn't join, your friend who got involved still is going to get rich. Does that make sense? But your mentality also is if someone joins, you're still going to get rich. And their friend joins, they're still going to get rich. You understand the difference? That's your mindset. So now you're coming from a place of abundance. Does that make sense? Your job is doing the 1 through 10 is to sort out and to filter the people that have goals and dreams that actually want to do something with their lives. It's to find and qualify and sign up the right people that will work with you, not you have to drag along. Does that make sense? Okay? So that's vision-oriented building versus random-oriented building. Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, so vision-oriented building, why do we do it? So again, you got to know your why, you got to know your vision, and understand that everything we're doing is bringing you closer to that. When you know that everything you're doing is bringing you one step closer to that, how much differently would you handle how you built the business? See, one of the biggest examples that I taught that stuck with me is my mentor taught me, he goes, imagine you started the season knowing you already won the championship, what would the season look like? Now what that quote means, just to clarify what that quote means, is very, very simple. Imagine you're playing basketball. You're on a basketball team. And before the season started, you already know you won the championship. You saw the future, whether crystal ball, whatever it is, you knew without a shadow of a doubt you're going to win the championship. How much more confidence are you going to have when you play the game?
Much more.
Would you doubt yourself?
No.
Would you second guess yourself? No, but does it guarantee you're going to win every game? No. In basketball or in sports, do you have to win every game to win the championship? No. You just got to win the one that counts, yes or yes?
Yes.
So understand this, you have to understand your vision, and you have to be sold out. And that's number one. If you're not sold out in the business, you're not sold out that you can succeed, do yourself and everyone else a favor, do not present the business. Because if you're scared and you're doubtful and you don't believe you can succeed, you don't believe you can lead people and you present to people, that's what's going to come across. Now let me ask you a question. Would you ever sign up or work with someone that didn't know they would succeed? So how would you expect people to sign up with you if that's how you feel? So number one is you got to know that you're going to win. You got to know that you're going to succeed. That you already won the championship before the season even started. Because here's what's amazing about Seacret, is that all the skills you can learn. Network marketing, the skills you can learn, you can get great at this business. That's the best part. And as you become better, guess what? You're going to make more money. That your success is guaranteed as long as you don't quit, as long as you follow the system, as long as you learn and grow. People often ask me, Julian, what are my chances of succeeding in Seacret? I go 100%. You're the only one that changes those numbers. So if you know that, guess what? When you present, it doesn't matter who you present to, you're going to have that confidence. So you need to start with that vision-oriented building. You need to have that confidence. Okay? Now, mindset, that's part one of mindset. Now, the next step is very, very simple. If you're presenting, here's what's also very, very important. One of the biggest gripes I have about this industry, and it's a really quick vent, is people say that, hey, anybody can succeed. And the fact of the matter is that statement is only half true. I believe that most people, when they get started, have no chance of succeeding. I believe that most people, when they get started in this industry, have no chance of succeeding. Because why? Because when you get started, you bring your habits, your disciplines, right, your old philosophies, right, that determine your thoughts, determine your actions, that determine your results. True or not true? True. Which means if we can accomplish everything we want the way we are, we should already have it. True or not true? True. Absolutely. But here's what I do believe. I believe everybody can get started and become that person they need to become to accomplish all that they want. So you have to grow, you have to change. One of the things that makes it hard for people to succeed, the reason why some people have gripes about network marketing is to lie to. They say, hey, you can get started, you're guaranteed to succeed. Just go out there and show people the business, just show people the information, and eventually you're going to get rich. But here's what happens. That's not going to happen. Because what I've learned is, why would people sign up with you if they don't want to follow you? Why would someone want to sign up if they don't want to be like you? Does that make sense? Because guess what? If you're showing someone the information, do you know what the biggest billboard is? The biggest billboard for Seacret is not anything that'll ever be plastered up. It's you. When you're presenting the information, they're going to be judging Seacret based on you. You are a walking billboard. That's right. So what does your billboard say about Seacret? You're representing Seacret. Does that make sense? Understand that when someone sees you right away, as soon as they see you, and as soon as you open your mouth, and you walk and talk, guess what? They already have an impression of you. And that impression with them will stick with them throughout the whole presentation. So you have to understand there's certain things that you have to set up before you even get there. Does that make sense? Before you even show them the information. Now to illustrate this is very, very simple. Again, it breaks my heart. I go to different markets, and I speak at different markets, and I see good people that come up to me. And they go, why am I not succeeding? Why are people not getting involved in my business? I just showed this business that this man sit down, no one's getting started. I can sign up my close friends, but I can't sign up their friends. And I go, well, the reason why that you can sign up your close friends is your close friends judge you on your inside, because they know you. But unfortunately, their friends don't know you, so they're going to judge you on the outside. So here's what I want you to imagine. Imagine you didn't get involved in Seacret yet. Now, granted, our business is amazing, our products are great, our content is great, so someone that's already looking, someone that's already an A, someone's praying for an opportunity, someone's already motivated, self-motivated, they see the business, they're going to get started right away. Imagine in this business not signing up A's, it's signing up B's. Okay, that's a skill which we're going to teach you how to do. Here's what I want you to imagine. Imagine you came down to a presentation. And as you come down to the presentation, I want you to imagine this person's edifying, and you sit down, and the person that sits down in front of you is a person that has a shirt that's stained, dirty, wearing shorts, drinking a 7-Eleven Big Gulp with a giant straw, has a ketchup stain, mustard stain, smells like burgers, smells like fries. And he says, hey, welcome, I'm actually here to show you Seacret. What would your impressions be? Now you look at Seacret, what would your impression be? This gentleman is sloppy. This person obviously does not have their life together. This person obviously can't help me. I don't want to be like them. I'm sharper than that person. I know more than that person. I have myself put together better than that person. Why would I listen to them? That's how the world works. Now I want you to imagine that's older people. Now I want you to imagine younger people. I want you to imagine a younger person sitting down with you. Because here's why. Because, you know, if you're young, you can sign up young people. There's companies out there that do that. They can sign up nothing but young people. But how many of you want to sign up all different types of people?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So here's what I learned. I learned that people follow people that are just like them, or people follow people that are how they want to become. Obviously, someone that has strength, are they going to follow people that have strength? Yes. Someone that has strength, are they going to follow someone that's weak?
No.
No. But someone that's weak, will they follow someone that's strong?
Yes.
So what should you be? Strong. So you get both, right? So I want you to imagine now you're coming down to a presentation, and you see a young person wearing shorts, right? A t-shirt, a hat, or maybe they wear slacks but their shirt's unbuttoned. What would your first impressions be? Take a look at $1 million business. Would you sign up? No. That's you being young. Now I want you to imagine you're 20 years old, and now you're 30 years old. Now you're 40 years old. Now you're 50 years old, and you sit down with someone that's young, dressed like that, slacks, dress shirt, untucked, sneakers. What would your first impressions be? Would you want to work with someone younger than you?
No.
That's the hard part, because when you're young, people that are older, we grow up in the stigma that if you're older, you have more experience and you know more, which is true on a lot of levels, which means that you're not going to sign them up. But let's change the rules a little bit. What if you sit down with somebody, and you sat down with somebody, and again, you don't have to have name brand suits, you don't have to have name brand clothes. All you have to do is be dressed sharp, have fitted clothes, clothes that fit, have it well put together. We can train you on how to do that, because presentation is what? Everything. So imagine you're sitting down with somebody that has a well put together outfit, a well put together posture, smiling, confident. What would your first impressions be? Now let's just say you're 40 years old, 50 years old, you're older, but you're sitting down with a young professional that's dressed sharp, well put together. What would your first impressions be? You'd be more open-minded, because you say most kids, most young people are not dressed like this. Obviously this person has their stuff put together. I'm going to be more open to paying attention. So that's the biggest thing that I want to share with you, that you have to understand that people judge you. So the biggest question you got to ask yourself is, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and you got to ask yourself, man, if I sat down with me, would I get started? What would my first impressions be? And if you would not get impressed, if you would not get started, how can you expect somebody else to? Now here's the biggest question. Who do you want to recruit? Who do you want to sign up? And ask yourself, if I was that person, what impression would I have? Would I get started? And the answer is no. What should we do?
Change it.
We should change it. You're right, presentation is everything. But that's not the presentation. It's you. That's where it starts. So let's talk about it. So the basic mindsets, and then we'll get into it. Right? And I'll show you how to establish this for you. This is your inner game. We call it inner game. Obviously it's mindset, right? Because what we focus on is what expands. So inner game. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you, and this is going to help you with everything. It's going to help you launch people, whatever it is, present, train. It's going to help you with sports. There's actually a study that was done by MIT, and they said that optimistic people automatically do better than people that are not. The reason why is when you're optimistic, that natural extra boost of confidence, whether it's based on lies or truth, guess what? Automatically adds to your game. Okay? So, but again, this is totally another story, right? So inner game, here's what you got to do, okay? Is number one, guess what? Coming into presenting or launching anything that you do, you're doing it with purpose. Now imagine, if you already knew you were going to become successful, you already knew you were going to become a 6-figure earner, a 7-figure earner, how excited would you be? What would your confidence level be? That's what I want you to imagine. That's what you got to live before the results show up. Some people say, well, once the results show up, then I'll be excited, then I'll be confident. No! That's not how it works. You think the $1 million is the success? No, that is your reward for your success. That is the reward for your thinking, not the cause of your thinking, the reward for your thinking. Okay? So number one, guess what? You got to be enthusiastic. You got to be enthusiastic as hell. You're like, why would you use that word so dramatic? Exactly, because that's how important it is. You got to be enthusiastic as hell. Enthusiastic comes from the words meaning enthusiasm. IASM, the last 4 letters of enthusiasm means I am sold myself. You need to be sold out. Before you can sell someone else on getting started on Seacret, guess who should be sold out on Seacret? You. Before you sell out on anybody on becoming successful, guess who should be sold on becoming successful? You. Fake it till you make it. Guess what? You can't fake it till you make it as a leader. They'll know. You got to be enthusiastic as hell. Now you're like, well, I don't know yet. Lie to yourself. Lie to yourself saying that you are going to become successful. The more you lie to yourself, the more you're going to believe it. And the more you believe it, guess what? It just shows up. It just happens. So number one, you got to be enthusiastic as what?
Hell.
Right? I thought your mom told you not to say that word. Right? Enthusiastic as hell, right? You got to be enthusiastic as hell. You got to be excited. Why? Because when you're enthusiastic, guess what happens? When you show someone the presentation, they sit down with you. They meet you. You're excited. You're shaking their hand. Hey, pleasure to meet you. You're just confident. What would that other person feel like? Obviously, this person has something of value to share with me. If you knew that you have the best thing to show to somebody that they need, why would you be scared? Do you think Kobe Bryant is scared to play basketball against a middle school basketball player? That's the confidence you need to have. Does that make sense? Because why? Because the other person, guess what? If they're a strong, confident person, they're going to vibe with you. They're going to vibe with you, and then guess what? They're going to relate with you, and they're going to pay more attention to you. This person's strong. Now, the person's weak. They lack confidence. You have confidence. But guess what? But you're nice and welcoming. They're automatically going to like you because they're going to want to be around you. Does that make sense? It's got to be enthusiastic as hell. Now you're like, well, Julian, please tell me why I should be enthusiastic about showing someone the business. Because you should. Because the reality is 5% of people will still be working by the age of 65. 36% of people will be dead. 54% of people will be dead broke. That means 95% of people that you present to at 65 will still be working dead or dead broke. Do we have a better way?
Yes.
How many people do you think in the world want to change their lives? A lot. How many of them do you think have a plan to change their lives? Not a lot. Do we have a plan?
Yes.
So when I sit down with someone, I'm like, man, I'm excited to show this person. Sometimes we're scared to recruit up. Well, this person got a college degree, they graduated, they're looking for a job. They're not those high school dropouts, college dropouts that need something, they're desperate to join this. That's what I used to think. I think only people that don't have degrees that go nowhere in life should get started. But then I realized, here's what's crazy. People that are more successful recognize success faster, they value the money more, they value the time more.
Yep.
The easiest people for me to recruit are, guess what, the people that graduated. Why? Because some of us, right, we never graduated college. And we see these numbers, like 56% of college graduates, right, graduate and can't find jobs. 27% find jobs that have nothing to do with a degree. Now we say it sounds good, but what do you think it's going to sound like to someone that graduated college and can't find a job? What do you think it's going to sound like to someone that graduated college and found a job that has nothing to do with a degree? Do you see why people need this opportunity? It's not young people, not old people. So you got to be enthusiastic as hell, because guess what? 95% of the people you meet need this. How would you feel knowing that when you sit down with somebody, they need what you got? That's your mindset. They might not know it yet, but you know. You're like, but what if they're skeptical? What if they're like negative? Don't matter. They don't know yet, but you know. Okay, that's your attitude. You got to be enthusiastic. Style number 2, which is huge. You got to be sharp as a tack. You got to be sharp as a tack. Now, I know in our organization there's a lot of young people, and a lot of young people like to dress stylish and swag and all that stuff. Okay, but just understand what that kind of stuff, like fashion, style, swag, it's a fine line. You pull it off correctly when you know what you're doing, you're going to look sharp as hell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But it's also borderline. If you don't do it right, you're going to look like a clown. Does that make sense? Let me tell you, do sharp people wear bow ties? Yes. Do clowns wear bow ties? Yes. You got to learn how to differentiate, match colors, all that stuff, but that's a different training. Guess what? It's all available online, okay? Not my website, GQ, whatever, details. Find a girl that's attractive, that dresses well. She'll coach you, she'll tell you. That's how easy, just ask, okay? But you got to be sharp as a tack. Why do you got to be sharp as a tack? Because if they sit down with you, before you even present, here's how scary it is. Before you even start talking about this, there are already variables that will determine whether someone gets started or not. And whether you're sharp or not will determine that. Like that example I just shared with you. So you got to be sharp. What does sharp mean? It means you walk with the posture. You have a posture, confidence. There's a certain charisma about you that you know you're going to succeed. Now you're like, but Julian, I'm just a bronze, I'm just a silver. I've not made a lot of money yet. But do you have an opportunity to make a lot of money?
Yes.
So most people out there have the opportunity. No. So that alone should be there, because your mentality is, hey, I might not be where I want to be yet, but I'm closer today than I am yesterday. I have an opportunity to get there. It's not about where I am, it's about where I'm going. And here's what I'm going to share with you. It doesn't matter about your car, it doesn't matter about your homes. It doesn't matter. Because what people are more interested in is where you're going, not necessarily where you are. If you're a person with vision and passion, they'll follow you. I'm going to share with you how to convey that in your presentation. I'm going to show you how I convey that. I can show you how you can convey that, which is amazing. Okay, I just want to share that. So sharp as a tack. Dress well, smell well, okay? Be confident. That's all it is. Be sharp. Can we all do that?
Yes.
Because why? If you're not sharp, you're wasting your time. They've already closed themselves off to you. Why do you think in our training we say the best dressed guest should never look better than the worst dressed rep? That's how crazy it is. Because people are going to size you up. Either you're on their level or you're in higher level. That's the only reason why they're going to follow you. But that doesn't come based on what you have. That goes based on where you're going, your confidence. Does that make sense? How do you win somebody over? Is you have more confidence than they do. You have more belief than they do. Because if you have more belief, guess what? Your belief will overpower their belief. And that's another training. I want to share that with you. Okay, it's like, you know, women, for example. You're going to go out there talking to women. Guess what? If you're a guy and you come up to a girl, but you're scared, you're nervous, right? And you're shy, do you think they're going to be open? No, because they're like, why would I want someone that's weak? Does that make sense? Okay? So again, it's the same thing for everything. So you got to be sharp as attack. And number 3, here's the most important part that you got to establish. You got to establish, right? And guess what? That you are the authority figure. And that you're a force to be reckoned with. What does that mean? Someone comes down. Did you, 2 people, the presenter and the guest, show up to the same location? Did the presenter come to hear the guest, or did the guest come to hear to the presenter?
Yes, the presenter.
So who should hold the conversation?
Presenter.
Who is the authority figure?
Presenter.
Who holds the value?
Presenter.
You. The presenter. So you have to understand that. So guess what? You have to control the conversation. That's becoming confident. That means you know your value. You know your value, and you know the value of the company, you know the value of the product. What would you do if someone, you talk to somebody and they started talking trash about your mom? What would you do? Would you just let that go by?
No.
No, you wouldn't. So guess what? You got to be the same way about your business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Strong, confident. You know what you have, you know what you got, you know where you're going. You're an authority figure. That you're the person of value. Why? Because Justin, regardless, let's say he has a job already, he's making good money, whatever it is, regardless of where he is when he meets me, his life is nowhere near as good as it can be if he worked hard at Seacret. So I'm sharing it with him. Does that make sense? I'm sharing him the value. Because guess what? They invited him to come here for me. So when he comes down to here for me, guess what? He already has that intention. And if you're sharp and all this other stuff, guess what? They're going to pay attention. So you're going to ask questions on all that stuff and all that good stuff. Does that make sense? Okay? Does everybody understand this?
Yes. Yeah.
This is the most important part about presenting, okay? All this will determine already what the mood's going to look like in the flow of the presentation. This is going to determine whether your guest is going to cut you off during your presentation. This will determine whether your guest will ask you objections during the presentation or after. This will determine whether your guest will respectfully listen or not even pay attention. Why is all this important? Because how many of you want to make a lot of money?
Yes.
How many of you want more time?
Yes.
If you don't do this correctly, are you wasting time?
Yes.
Are you wasting money?
Yes.
So it's very, very important. Okay, now obviously this goes in line with how to invite. So you want to make sure your guests are invited properly. Now this is for you as a presenter. Now, how do you tell your rep to prepare? Now obviously the rep's doing a guest. How do you tell them to prepare? Okay, I'm going to share this with you. Okay, number 1 is you got to manage the expectations from the beginning. So what happens is very, very simple. If Andrew's the rep and Tony's the guest, as I'm talking, I'm going to call Andrew, and here's what I'm going to ask. Andrew, you have a guest. I need you to tell me about your guest. Tell me their name, their age, do they work, do they go to school, how do you know them, what did you tell them to come down, and why you think they'll be good at this business. Their name, their age, do they go to school, do they work, how do you know them, what did you tell them to come down, and why would they be good at this business. So why would you ask them those questions? So now, when you meet the guest, you can say, I heard a lot of good things about you. You're not lying. Yep. Now you're more confident because you know a little bit more about the guest. Now the guest is going to be more confident because Andrew talked about the guest. Now what's going to happen is, I heard a lot of good things about you. Here's what the guest is going to think. Subconsciously think, I bet you say that to everybody. But guess what? Andrew's now more confident. Why? Because the last question I asked him is what? Why do you think your friend would be good at this? So now he's sold out on his friend. Now he's bringing out his friend. Not just to show the business to somebody, because he genuinely believes his friend will be successful at this. If he genuinely believes that his friend will be successful at this, do you think Tony's going to get that vibe from Andrew? If Tony gets that vibe from Andrew, do you think Tony's going to be more open or closed to the presentation?
Open.
Open. And guess what? Let's say he tells me, dude, Tony's very outgoing, he's very fun, this guy knows a lot of people, he's very far out there, he's not afraid to look, like this guy does some crazy stuff. You watch his videos on Facebook. Yep. He knows everybody. Like, that's what I really know about Tony, but I didn't know Tony. Andrew told me this. So I'm like, okay, cool. So guess what? When I meet Tony, guess what I tell Tony? Hey, Tony, great to meet you. I heard a lot of good things about Andrew. He told me that, you're very outgoing, you know a lot of people, and he told me that I should check out your videos on Facebook, and you're just out there, and you just love to have fun and everything. So guess what? Now he's thinking like, dang, Andrew did talk about me. He goes, yeah, he told me you're going to kill it because of all those things. And he's like, dang, dude, I do all those things. I probably will kill this. And now he's getting more open. You see how that works?
Yes.
Now he's going to have more respect for Andrew because Andrew showed him the business. Because Andrew invited him on the right pretenses for him. You see how that works? That's why you ask that. But more importantly, here's what's going to happen, is what you tell Andrew. So what I'm telling Andrew is very, very simple. Andrew, I'm going to do this presentation for you because obviously I'm working with you. But I want you to understand I'm not going to do this for you forever. Eventually, you're going to start presenting. So here's what I want you to do. Understand, number one, what's going to determine your friend to get started is not me. Believe it or not, it's more you than me. Because your friend doesn't know me. That's why he's going to respectfully listen. But your friend trusts you. That's why he's going to get involved. And I go, so very importantly, your friend needs to see how serious you are. They need to see how confident you are. So Andrew, I want you to know, whether Tony gets started or not, you're going to succeed. Do you believe that? Yes. Do you really? Yes. Because you need to. Whether Tony gets started or not, you're going to succeed. I want you to know that. I'm going to do my best, but guess what? If Tony doesn't get started, you're still going to succeed no matter what. But if Tony gets started, he's going to succeed with us. So during the presentation, I want you to have a notepad or pen or a journal, and I want you to pay attention and take notes on how I present. Because I want you to take notes with the intentions of learning how to do it, so when it's your turn to do it, you know how to do it. So guess what? Now he comes to the presentation. When he watches, he's not going to be twiddling his thumb, he's not going to be on his phone. He has the right intentions, like, oh, I got to learn how to do this. Now there's more urgency. Do you see how that is? And as Andrew takes notes, what do you think Tony's going to feel? Wow, this guy's serious. So I tell Andrew, I go, Andrew, that's what's most important. So I need you to take notes. I need you to pay attention. Okay? More importantly, I don't want you to jump in. I don't want you to cut me off. Because if you do that, what's going to happen is it's going to automatically disrespect the presentation. They're not going to pay attention. Because if you don't respect the presentation and you don't respect me, why would they do it? So I said, I want you to pay attention, take notes the whole time. I want you to visualize your friend getting started. Because now he's going to start sending out those lives. Okay? And I go, I want you to make sure your friend is nervous and excited to meet me. So I need you to edify me and say good things about me. And what's going to happen is when they meet me, I'm going to be very down to earth, very easygoing. Okay? And Andrew says, okay. And I go, Andrew, make sure you do that. So guess what? Now, before this even starts, let me tell you what we established. Andrew's more excited, he's more confident that his friend's going to get started, and he's already going to know that if his friend doesn't get started, he's going to succeed. Now I know more about his guest. He brings the guest to me. Guess what? His guest is nervous but excited to meet me. So he's going to be more open. Then when I meet Tony for the first time, I greet Tony, hey, how's it going, Tony? I heard a lot of good things about you from Andrew. He told me that you're going to kill it at this business, and he told me I just got to meet you. He told me that, that you're very outgoing, you know a lot of people, and you just love to have fun, and you love putting yourself out there, and I should watch your YouTube video. So I'm very, very, very excited to meet you. So now what happens now, before the meeting even started, Tony's more open. He's more excited, he has more respect for his friend. He's more likely to pay attention and more likely to get started. See how that works?
Yes.
So what do? We just remove all those pretenses before we even started the presentation. You see how that works? You already built what we call rapport. Now, the next step is when you sit down. How you sit down is also very important. Most people don't train this, right? Can you still sign people up if you don't do this? Yes. But if you do this, it increases your chances. And that's what we want to do, is increase your chances as possible, remove as many variables as possible. So again, if you're sitting down and you're doing a presentation, here's what needs to happen. If I'm presenting to a man, a gentleman, you need to sit side by side with them. So imagine it's a round table, side by side. You see how that works? Because you're on their side, because men are very competitive. You sit in front of them, guess what? It's like gorillas beating their chests. Does that make sense? Side by side. That's it. So when you talk to them, you're presenting to them, you're helping them, you're encouraging them, you're friends with them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then Andrew, guess what, will be on his other side. Like we're on your side, we're helping you. Now if you're a man presenting to a woman, or anybody presenting to a woman, here's what you got to be. You need to sit directly in front of them, and they need to see your hands at all times, and you need to respect their space. You do that, again, build rapport, they're going to be open. Does that make sense? So, knowing that, a couple other things to remember is the whole time, smile, 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 everybody smile. Okay, just making sure everybody knew how to do that, right? Smile. Be excited, and some other stuff, Tim has this training called Influence Mastery Workshop. Watch that video, you're going to get a better idea of using people's names, smiling, and all this other stuff. Those are things that you want to learn and you want to understand, okay? So now that you have that, now we set the stage. Right? Why do we spend so much time doing that? Because proper preparation prevents poor productivity. Okay, we did all that. Why? Because if you do all that, guess what? You open them up. They're going to receive more of the information through the presentation. Does that make sense? Okay? So now, we're all sitting down, we're talking. Now, how do you form them? Now, you should already be open. Because guess what? They're already talking, everything like that. If you watch the invite script, you follow the invite script on the launch, everything's already set the stage, so we don't really have to form too much. Does that make sense? So now that I sit down with Tony, I'm going to be very, very excited. I'm like, Tony, I'm very, very excited to meet you. And we're just smiling, talking back and forth. So what do? You know, all that stuff. And you make small talk, a little bit small talk, not a lot, some small talk. Open them up, you know. Whatever they ask, whatever they tell you, just listen, don't cut them off. You know, just all that stuff. And then when you feel like it's ready, you'll know when it's ready. Don't drag it on too long, but when you know it's ready, you say, all right, well, Tony, you know, I definitely want to respect your time. And I'm very excited for you to come out here and take a look at something that Andrew's very excited about. See what I just did? That Andrew is very excited about. Why did I say that? The reason why I said that is because something that Andrew's very excited about, Andrew's going to remember to be what? Excited. So when I say that, 100% of the time, what's going to happen is your guest will be like, nod the head, smile, or whatever it is, they're going to be excited, they're going to be jacked. And when I say that, guess what? When I say, obviously, something that Andrew's very excited about, Tony, the guest, will look at Andrew, Andrew's smiling, being excited, he goes, oh, he's excited. Now they're open. So you say, look, I'm very, very excited for you to come down and take a look at something that Andrew's very, very excited about. And I'm excited to be able to share with you an opportunity that truly changed my life. You know, and all I'm going to ask you is very, very simple. It's going to be kind of boring. We don't have the fancy presentations, no PowerPoints or nothing like that. You know, I'm just going to literally just read the sheet to you. Okay? And I'm just going to give you all the information you need to make an educated decision whether it's something you want to do or not. Why? Because obviously me and Andrew, you know, obviously this company's going places. Andrew's excited. Andrew knows where he's going. And as a good friend, he wants to show it to you because he loves, trusts, and respects you. He doesn't want you to miss out. Do you see how that works?
Yes.
In Tony's mind, it's like, I don't want to miss out. So you're setting the stage. He goes, afterwards, all we need is a simple yes or no. Because we know a maybe is a polite way of saying, you know, no. So I don't want to waste your time, I don't want to waste my time. But and here's the magic thing, okay? This is a little advanced, but I'm going to train it to you. Tell them how they're going to feel. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. Sell the result, not the ingredients. What does that mean? Instead of selling them how great the presentation is and how much information I'm going to share with them, I'm going to sell him on how he's going to feel after the presentation. I'm going to sell him on what he's going to realize after the presentation. I'll show you how to do that right now. It's very, very simple, okay? So how I edify the sheet is very, very simple. I go, it's a simple sheet. The reason why we have it set up is, you know, very, very duplicatable. Anybody can do it. But it's an effective way for us to share with you the information that you can also see and understand. It's very clear and precise. Right? And then I say, and the next thing I say is I go, you know, one thing how we're going to start is we're going to start with the industry. Right? The reason why we start with the industry is we're going to talk about the big picture. The industry as a whole, that's like the big picture. What is everybody doing? What we're involved with. Then I'm going to bring it down closer and we're going to talk about the company. We're going to narrow it down, talk about the company, specifically our role and what we've been able to do in the industry. And then we're going to talk about the products, which is the reason why our company is so successful. And then after we share with you the foundation, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the money, which is what's in it for you. Here's what I know. By the time we get to the money, you're going to say to yourself you love the company, you love the products. And because of that, the money's going to make more sense. Because of that, you're going to be more excited. And by the end of the presentation, I know for a fact that you're going to realize and say to yourself that this company is a perfect fit for you. You say it with so much confidence, so much belief, it rattles their belief, and now they say that, dang, this guy's pretty confident. So chances are this is probably going to happen. Now I'm going to watch and focus on finding those points that's going to make me say that. And what you focus on what? Expand. So guess what? You're focusing on them seeing what they're going to benefit from it, how they can grow from it, how this company can help them. You see how that works? Now the mindset when you're presenting again is what? You're playing the contribution game. You're not signing this guy up for what it's going to do for you. You're signing this guy up for what the company can do for him. When you're focusing on what this business can do for them, will they be more open or more closed?
Open.
Open. If you're focusing on presenting to him based on what he can do for you, do you think they'll be more open or more closed?
Closed.
Closed. Because it's okay, just excited, right? Because when you do it for yourself, we'll edit that out, right? When you do things for yourself, guess what? People will know. But when you do things for people, they're going to be able to sense that. Do you see how that works? So how do you get people to feel what you want them to feel? As you tell them, that's how they're going to feel. So let me ask you guys a question, ladies and gentlemen. How would you want your guests to feel?
Excited.
Excited. What else?
Curious.
Curious. What else? Confident. What else?
Relaxed.
Relaxed. What else? So thumbs up. Would you want your guests to feel like they're going to get started?
Yes.
Would you want your guests to feel like they're going to succeed in our business?
Yes.
Would you want your guests to feel like they can make this business happen?
Yes.
Let's talk about all those things. How would you say it? You just tee it up before you even start the presentation. Tony, I know that as I share with you this business and as I go over from box to box, you're going to get more comfortable, more relaxed because you're going to see how great our company is. And as I share with you everything, as I start showing you the products, demonstrating you the products, and I start talking about the money, how much money you can make, you know what I know? I know you're going to get excited about what we have. What else? You want to invest in getting started, right? I know that you have big goals, big dreams, right? Yeah. I know you don't want to be average, do you? No. So that's why I know that after this presentation, you're going to see a way for yourself to accomplish your goals and dreams, and you're going to be excited to get started with us. You see how that works? Because I'm telling you what to focus on, and when you focus on what? Expands. You see how that works? Here's what nervous presenters do. I hope you're going to like this. I hope you're going to get started after this. It's like, dude, it's not going to work. You see how that works? So you're managing the expectations. You're managing the what? Expectations. You're telling them that. So now you start the presentation like, all right, cool. Now we're going to start with the industry. Here's what we say. You can literally read the points, but again, it's your tonality. Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Right? Like, for example, I could say, Alex kicked the dog. Alex kicked the dog. Alex didn't kick the dog. He kicked the cat. You see how that works? Alex didn't kick the dog. He kicked the cat. Right? I don't know why you would do that. Horrible person, right? No, I'm just kidding, right? Alex didn't kick the dog. He punched it. See how tonality automatically changes things, right? Mr. Timmer has a great example. What if you went up to someone and you go, I love you, right? He's gonna freak out. He's like, dude, you're crazy, right? You're like, dude. If I go like, dude, I hate you, bro. How many of you can agree with me that what you say in the tonality changes how the message comes across?
Yes.
Okay? So I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay? So number one, we're going to start with the industry. We're going to start with the industry. Now here's what happens. You want to answer the objections in the presentation. Okay? So how that works is very, very simple. We'll start with the industry. Now the biggest objection is if they're a guy, it's skincare. If they're young, I don't need skincare. Or skincare is not for me. How many of you can agree that's what most people are going to think?
Yes.
So you answer that. So what you talk about is you relate it to your story. The first thing I want to talk about is the industry that we're a part of. Everybody say that. We want to start off with the industry that we're a part of. Okay, and the reason why I start with industry because it's the big picture industry. So they have value for what we do.
Yep.
So they can appreciate our company. We start with that order. That's why we do it. Industry first, company. Why? The big picture then the small picture. How weird would it be if we start small picture then the big picture? You're like, I don't get it. Okay? We don't do that. So the industry is very simple. Box one, you say, we're part of the skincare industry. And what I often say is, have you ever heard of a company called Seacret?
Yep.
Sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes, right? They go, yes. I'm like, oh, how'd you hear? Like, oh, from the kiosk and stuff. Man, that's awesome. You're definitely going to like what we're going to show you. Now they go, never heard of Seacret before. Like, don't worry, I never heard of it either. But here's what I saw. When I started looking at the industry for the first time, right, I was a little skeptical because they talked about skincare. Now for me, when I first saw it, I was kind of hesitant because I knew skincare wasn't for me. So you say that, because if that's how they're feeling, guess what they're going to think that. But then here's what you say. But as soon as I learned about the industry, it completely changed my mind. See, the skincare industry is a $300 billion rapidly expanding industry. Could you agree that $300 billion is a lot of money? And the industry is continuing to expand. Would you agree there's a lot of money to be made? Now, when I first saw it, I said, man, skincare is not really for me. But you know what my mentor told me? My mentor told me, hey, Julian, what you love to do should be your hobby, but what everybody else loves to do should be your business. When people are spending $300 billion a year worldwide, does that show that people want our products?
Yes.
Now, to show that a product is better than anything else they're using, do you think they're going to buy or not buy?
Buy.
And that's why, then when I shared that with me, that's when I became open-minded about the skincare industry. Because when I saw it, I was negative because I wasn't into skincare. When I realized a $300 billion industry that I can capitalize on, I got excited because I knew that what I was into, what I wanted to do, what I was excited about, if I get a piece of that $300 billion pie, I can enjoy the things I actually care about. You see how you share that, right? You talk about that, like, oh, that's true. Because now, why? They think skincare is not for me, but you say, hey, with a $300 billion industry, if I can get a piece of that, I can enjoy things I love. They're going to think, that's true. If I make $300 billion, I can enjoy things I love. Now you're like, how do I know if they think that? Just ask them. Wouldn't you agree with me that if you got a piece of that $300 billion industry, you can enjoy the things you love? Yeah. This is all about asking questions, see how that works, right? Next, you talk about the direct sales industry. The direct sales industry is a $166 billion a year industry. Now attracting multi-billionaires such as Warren Buffett, Richard Branson, and Donald Trump. You say that with so much confidence. Why? Because how many of you can agree that multi-billionaires are more credible than your broke friends?
Yes.
So you say that with confidence, right? The direct sales industry is a $166 billion a year industry, now attracting billionaires like Warren Buffett, Richard Branson, and Donald Trump. You say that, they're like, wow, that's credible. And I said, when I said, this is what I said, when I heard that, it made me so confident, because I knew if wealthy people were getting involved, chances are I should get involved. I was skeptical about direct sales. I was like, man, I never sold anything in my life. But then what happened is, we're about to show, when I share with you the products, you'll see why this is so easy for you. Because what we do is not really selling, it's sharing. What if you had a great product that you know people are already spending money on, but what you have is better than what they have? Do you think they're more likely to buy or less likely?
More likely.
And that's why we're so excited. That's why you have so many different types of people that are getting started and succeeding in our business. You see how I said that? That's why you have so many different people getting started, right, and succeeding in our business. Everybody's getting started. Everybody's succeeding. That's your mentality. That's what you say. And guess what? They're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to do whatever else do. Okay? Then you skip the next step. Relationship marketing removes traditional media advertising and pays us to promote the products. So instead of hiring celebrities to go into commercials that we don't even pay attention to, instead of spending a lot of money on newspaper ads that we throw away, on telemarketers that we ignore, what they do is they find people that are passionate about the product, share the products. And they share it with their family and friends. Who would you trust more? Your family, close family and friend that's already used the product and loves it, or a commercial? Family and friends. That's why we find people that are family and friends. You see how this is so effective? You say that. Do you see how this is so effective? Yes. And then that's what you say, right? You know, relationship marketing, that's what we do. And guess what? We find people that want to change their lives. And we help them change their lives with this business. Imagine, you got started, and we helped you make a lot of money. We helped you start having success. We helped you start changing your life. Would you tell people about it, or would you keep it a secret?
Tell people.
Do you see why everybody's getting started? Do you see why everybody's becoming successful with our company? And because of that, guess what? Now over 90 million people worldwide participate as independent distributors in the direct selling industry. Because my question to you is, let's not talk about Seacret. My question to you is, how many people do you think out there are sick and tired of being where they're at? How many people out there do you think want to make more money?
Yep.
How many people out there do you think want to have more time?
Yep.
How many people do you think out there want to follow their goals and their dreams instead of being stuck at a dead-end job they're not happy with?
Yep.
If you can show them something that can help them solve all those problems, do you think they'll get involved? And that's why everybody's getting involved in becoming successful in Seacret. Do you see how you're answering all those objections? Why would my friends get started? My friends are not into skincare. Remember, you just answered all that just through the industry. Now that we talk about the industry, now that I showed you the industry, I know that, if you're like me, you're probably already saying, the industry makes sense. See that? You're already saying the industry makes sense. Right? Now, obviously, by now you can agree that the industry makes sense. Obviously, by now you can agree that the industry makes sense. 99% of the time, they're going to nod their head. Right? But how many of you can agree that the industry does make sense?
Yes.
Right? Now let's talk about the company. Let's talk about Seacret within the industry. See, Seacret, guess what? When you get involved, you're going to take advantage of something called First Movers Advantage. Our company was launched in May 2011. That means you're here at the very beginning. Let me ask you a question. What's the best place to be, ahead of the pack or behind the pack? Ahead of the pack. That's what we get a chance to be at. But what's more exciting is that not only do we get to be in the beginning stages, but we already have finances and experiences to back up our company. Take a look at it. Our parent company has already done over $600 million in sales before they transition to do what we do. You would agree with me that $600 million is pretty successful, wouldn't you?
Yes.
And guess what? They did that in 6 years in 40 countries. Wouldn't you agree with me that if people are buying this product in over 40 different countries, that every person that sees the product likes it? And because of that, we're perfectly positioned to be the next billion-dollar company. When do you think is the best time to be part of a company? When it's already $1 billion or when it's on its way to $1 billion?
On its way to $1 billion.
On its way to $1 billion. But here's what's so crazy, is that our company's already done over $1 billion in revenue since we made that transition. That's why I got excited, because I didn't want to miss out. That's why I got started because guess what? It's a perfect storm. You see how you're leading them. You're asking those questions. You say, that's why I got started. Obviously, you're asking questions. You're leading them. Okay? Company. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Obviously, you're going to want to watch this training as many times as you can because the more times you watch this training, the more time you write these things down, guess what? You're more going to understand it and it's going to become more effective. Then you talk about the products. You go, but here's what's crazy. The $600 million in sales that are sold through kiosks. Now, when you go to the mall, are you excited to see kiosk people?
No.
No, I'm not excited to see kiosk people. So let me ask you a question. Even if they were able to stop you at a mall, wouldn't you agree with me that products have to be good for you to even buy it?
Yes.
So the reason why our product's so good is it's very, very simple. See, what most companies do, what most people do is they focus on the brand. And people want to buy the brand. People want to buy the brand. And there's a lot of companies out there that are already big. Companies you probably already heard of. L'Oreal, Shiseido, Lancome, Giorgio Armani, Ralph Lauren, they're already successful. That you would choose over Seacret because you don't know Seacret, but you know them. But why I got so excited is because the company, instead of spending money on the brand, they spend money on the quality of the product. Would you rather have a quality brand or would you rather have a quality product? Quality product. So here's what we know. We put so much money in the product that whenever we sit down with somebody, we know it doesn't matter if they ever heard of Seacret. Because we know what we have is better than anything they've ever used. And that's why our company does well. That's why our products are good. And I know after I show it to you, you're going to agree with me that the products are good. And here's what's crazy. Now, they're a gentleman, they're like, I don't know anything about skincare. You know what I'm going to say? I go, look, I'm a guy, you're a guy, we probably don't know anything about skincare. But here's what I do know. Is that you know enough about skincare that after we show you this product, you're going to be wowed by it. And you're going to say, I've never seen anything like this. And you'll know that this is better than anything else you've ever seen. You see how we're setting up the expectations already? Okay? That's what's cool about the company, the products. They will deliver on your promises. You know, the reason why our products do so well is because we have wow factor products. Because when we go out there, we show people the products, they say wow because they see results right away. When you have a product that can show people results in 15 minutes, do you think it will be hard to sell or easy to sell? Easy. This got me excited because for me, I was scared of sales because I didn't know how to convince people. I don't know how to convince people. I would imagine that's pretty hard. To convince people of something they haven't seen, but if someone saw results in 15 minutes, you really need to convince them of the results.
Nope.
No, because here's what's going to happen when I show you the products. I don't need to convince you about what you just experienced because you experienced it. That much makes it easy. And what's crazy about it is our products are from the Dead Sea, which is historical landmark, biblical landmark. People travel there every single year. There's minerals in there that cannot be found anywhere else. And guess who has the exclusive rights to those minerals? We do. That means there's no other company that has the same minerals that we do. And that's what makes our products so good. Companies can't even copy us if they want to. They can say they're Dead Sea products, but guess what? They don't have the same minerals as we do because we have the patent. And because of that, guess what? We did so well that we outsold everything that L'Oreal owned. L'Oreal's a $25 billion company that wanted to buy our company. We didn't sell it to them. But L'Oreal said, hey, you know what? Let's manufacture for you. But you keep your company. And we're actually the only company that L'Oreal manufactures for that doesn't own. They gave us access to patents and ingredients that no one else has. And that's why we're so successful. That's why our products are so good, which you're going to see in a little bit. But the reason why it will be so easy for you, me, and Andrew to succeed, because our products are perfect to demonstrate. Because instead of explaining to people why it's good, we just show people why it's good.
Yep.
What's easier, showing or explaining?
Showing.
So what I'm going to do right now, and at this point, it can go two different ways. If Andrew sat down enough presentations and he knows how to explain the product, the peeling gel, the M4, right, and the nail buffer, what I'm going to say is, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually have Andrew show you and demonstrate the products on you. It's going to freak you out. You're going to be so excited, like, man, I've never seen anything like that before. You're going to get excited just about the product. You're probably going to get started just because of the product. And then I have Andrew explain to him, because the reason why I would do that is because now Andrew's going to be more confident. He's excited, and his confidence and excitement will show to Justin. Justin's going to, because he's going to judge himself on me. He's like, I don't know, I can be like Julian, but if Andrew's explaining to him, it's like, good, I can do what Andrew's doing. You see how that works? So Andrew's explaining to him. But if Andrew's scared, doesn't know how to do it, I'm going to do it. Okay? But so you do that. And also what you want to do is you want to have a collection of before and after pictures also on your phone. So after they demonstrate the products, I go, man, isn't that crazy? Do you feel how smooth it is? You do all the little cool tricks and all this stuff. I'm like, wow, it's pretty exciting. Everybody's excited. You tee it up, everybody's super jacked. They're excited up to this point. And you go, but what's crazy is those are just 3 products. You see, what I'm showing you is more of the business side. People that are interested in the products, what we do is that don't want to become agents, we do something called a wow party. And we have them come over, we just demonstrate the products, and then we just pamper them. And it's pretty genius how we do it. We only do it on half their face. Why? So they can see a dramatic difference from their left and their right. I actually have some before and after pictures. Let me show you some of the pictures of some of our wow parties. And you show them pictures, you start explaining it to them. Pictures, 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 pictures. So you want to have a collection of what? Pictures. And you want to have not just the company-wide ones, the generic ones, right, that everybody has in the company. You want to start collecting your own. So you want to start using product, all that stuff too. So you do all that. Now what happens? Now he's excited. Do you think he has more belief in the industry? Yeah. Do you think he has more belief in the company? Yeah. Do you think he has more belief in the products? Yes. So here's what I tell him. I tell him that. I know obviously by now the industry makes sense, and you have more belief in our industry and why skincare makes sense. I know by now obviously you can see why the company is so credible and why we're doing so well, and more importantly why we're going to do even better. And I know obviously by now the product makes sense, and you can agree that the products work. If the products work, is it going to be easy to sell or hard to sell? I mean, how many people do you think would just freak out to show them the product? You know how many people are spending money on stuff like this that doesn't even have this kind of results? That's why for me, when I saw it, I said to myself, man, I'm going to get started because I don't know anything about skincare, but I know I can show people how this works. I know I can show them the results. And that's all you have to do, show people results. Can you show people results? Yep. So now that we shared with you all that, now we're going to talk about the money. I know a lot of companies, you've probably seen other companies, people try to invite you, and they talk all about the money, how you can get rich. And then we talk about the products. The reason why they do that is because chances are they don't have really good products. I wanted to share with you that we have a solid foundation. So as we move into talking about the money, you don't have any of those questions to be asked because now you already know how good the product is, you know how good the company is, you know how good the industry is. And now all I got to show you is what's in it for you and how you're going to succeed at this. And guess what he's saying is, you're right, that's all I need to see. In his mind subconsciously, because you're telling him that. Because now I know you're excited to see the money, because now you know the products work, so you're excited to see how you get paid on it. And so you go to the first one. See, what's crazy about it, the first way you get paid is on your personal efforts. That's based on what you do. It's like a store, right? Whatever you sell, you make, right? So what's crazy about it is you're going to earn 40 to 100% on retail. We've got to change that. It's 25%. Earn 25% to 150% on retail. Okay? The reason why the numbers fluctuate is because it depends on how you want to sell it. There's 3 ways to sell it. The first way is you sell it directly to your customers. When you sell it directly to your customers, you keep all the money. Like that nail care, right? It comes in a kit. You buy it for 20. You pay $20 for it. You get it. You sell it for 50. You make $30. So that's 150% profit. You keep all the money. It goes in your pocket, no one else's. Okay? It's like Forever 21. Would you agree that Forever 21 doesn't buy the clothes at the price and then sells at the same price? No, it wouldn't make sense, right? So you're going to get paid the same way Forever 21 gets paid, okay? So what's cool about that is that's the first way. Now the second way is very, very simple. The second way to do retail, the third way, is they fill out an order form or you send them to your website, which is free, right? And they order from your website and you don't have to spend any money. The company will automatically send the products and you're going to earn the 25% profit. So I want you to imagine, if you get paid 25% on whatever you sell, how much do you want to sell? A lot. Imagine it took you a year to sell $1,000 worth of product. Now here's what's crazy. People use the product and it works. When they run out, what do they do?
Buy more.
So what that means is you get the customer one time, but every month they buy the product, you get paid for it. So I want you to imagine, part-time, around your work, around your school, you don't quit anything, you just do this part-time. It took you 1 year, just through customers. You have about $1,000 worth of products being purchased every single month. Wouldn't you agree that part-time is easy to do in about a year?
Yeah.
What's 25% of that? $250. Now $250 might not be a lot, but if you got that every single month, and you didn't have to work for it, would that help you out? A lot of people get started right now just because of the retail program, just because they want the residual. $250, and guess what? Every single month it's going to continue to grow and get more customers. But what's exciting is we have a program called Roll 4 Pay No More, which is really exciting because it's an incentive to have your customers get you customers. Because imagine, what if you're a customer and you love the product and say, hey, what if you could get the product for free? Would you be interested? What would you say? Yes. You'd say yes. So all you have to do is if you introduce us to enough customers, if your customers refer enough customers, they now get their product for free. Do you think your customers are going to tell people about it or not tell people about it? And guess what? You're going to earn 25% on all your customers. Your customers bring in for you too. You see how you can just make a lot of money just on customers and referrals? When I first saw this, I said, man, it looks like one of those things where you have to recruit a lot of people and make a lot of money. That's what I was afraid of. But when I saw this, I saw, man, you can actually not recruit anybody and make a lot of money. There's actually people in the company that make 6 figures just retail the product. There's somebody named Dr. Phoebe Lou. All he does is sell the product, doesn't build a team, sell the product, makes 6 figures. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Yeah. Right? And that's what we say, you know, and all that. So that's personal efforts. So how much do you want to sell? A lot. Because the more you sell, the more you what? Make. What's cool about it is the second way is the team commissions. Team commissions, you go out there, you build a team. And how that works is you're going to go out there, you build 2 teams. We're going to ask you, who are 2 people that you know other than you that want to make more money? Who are 2 people other than you that have more free time? Who are 2 people other than you that you think will want to get started in Seacret? Who are 2 people other than you that want to change their life? You know why I said other than you? Because that means they're included in that. Other than you. Do you know these 2 people? You're like, I'm pretty sure, you know, we worked at it, we can find 2 people, right?
Yep.
Perfect. And guess what? You introduce two people to the business. We help them have success. We help them get customers. Do you think they're going to tell their friends about it?
Yes.
Yes, and guess what? It's going to start to grow because guess what? People are having results and they're sharing it. And let's just start building a team. Here's how it works. It's all based on customers. You're going to get paid up to 15% on the team business volume. So I want you to imagine, let's say, for example, you build a team of 10 people and a team of 20 people, and they all get 5 customers. Guess what? 15% of that would be $450 a month. Now, if it took you 1 year to do that part-time, now you didn't bring in all those people. You brought in 2. They brought in some people, or maybe you brought 3 or 4. They brought in some people. But after a year of part-time work, you didn't quit your school, you didn't quit your job, just part-time time you already had, $450 extra a month. Would that help you out?
Yes.
Every month. Would you take it or would you leave it?
Take it.
Take it. But what's cool about that is, guess what? As you longer in this business, even if you're busy, the people you introduce to this business, they might not be as busy as you are. Guess what? They're going to continue to work, and we're going to help them. And guess what? As they go out there and do that, let's say you build a team of 100 and 200, guess what? That's an extra $4,500 a month. What would your life look like, an extra $4,500 a month? Now let's say you build a team of 1,000, 2,000, let's say it took you 5 years, even 10 years. Let's say it took you 20 years, part-time to do this. In 20 years, you're making an extra $45,000 a month. Would you be okay?
Yep.
Do you know what got me excited about this? Because I looked at what I was doing and I said, man, if I worked at my job for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, if I worked hard, my butt off, there's no way I can make $45,000 a month. But here at least it's possible, and that's what got me excited. But here's what's crazy about it. We're going to work together. Because how much do you want to sell? Obviously, if you're in my team, I'm going to get 15% of whatever you sell. So if you sell a lot, you get 25% of that. So you sell $1,000, what's 25% of 1,000?
$250.
I get 15% of your 1,000, which is what? $150. Did you make more money than me?
Yes.
Because you worked harder than I did. But all I did was help you, support you, get those customers. I got paid. We both win. That's why I like it, because if you get started and you do 0 sales, you get 25% of 0, which is what?
0.
And now I get 50% of 0, which is what?
0.
Who wins? That's why we want to get you started, so we can both win together. Do you like to win?
Yep.
That's why this is going to work. And here's what's cool. The more people you get involved in your business, the more people you help, guess what? You're going to get 15% on what they sell and what they do. All we're doing is helping and supporting people. So guess what? We get out of 1 million people, but they get 0 customers. What's 15% of 0? Do you think we really want to get 0? Do you think we want to get you 0?
No.
What's cool is we're in an environment we both want the same thing. And guess what? There's people already coming, they're already doing that. The cap is, though, the bad news is you can only up to $25,000 a week on team commission. There's a cap. It's the most you can make is $100,000 a month. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't know any other opportunities, but I mean, if that's a deal breaker, I apologize for wasting your time. Right? Make a joke, have fun, smile, right? So that's what gets me excited. But you know what? As you move forward, it gets even better. See, the next way is something called check match. How check match works is that every person you personally bring into the business, the company's going to reward you to make sure you help them do well. So guess what? Andrew brought you down, right? So guess what? Andrew brought you down. You're Andrew's personal. He's going to get 20% on whatever you make. So I want you to imagine. If you make $1,000, he's going to make $200. How much money do you want to make?
A lot.
How much money do you think he wants you to make?
A lot.
Do we all want the same thing for you?
Yes.
What if you're in an environment where everyone wants the same thing for you? What would that look like?
Awesome.
Do you see how you explain that? Boom, $1,000, 20%. That's he brought you in. So he wants you to do very well, right? Do you think he's going to help you and support you?
Yep.
Absolutely, but here's where it gets crazy. Okay? Let's say you brought in somebody else, right? Andrew brought you in. Let's say you brought me in. I'm Andrew's level 2. Do you see how that works? Okay, so your level 1 is everybody you bring in. Your level 2 is everyone they bring in. So level 2, here's what's crazy. Level 2 is, imagine if I'm on Andrew's level 2, he helps me make $1,000, he gets $100. So he doesn't know me, you brought me, but he's going to help me.
Yep.
How much more confidence are you going to have that the people you're working with also is going to make sure your friends do well? Because you know, when you have people that are concerned about your success and your friend's success, you can confidently bring in your friends. That's why I got excited. I said, man, not only am I confident I can do this because someone's going to help me, but I'm confident I can bring people into the business because people they're going to get help and support. And then guess what? As you get promoted to level 3, level 4, it gets higher and higher. So you know what else that means? It means the more people you help make money, the more money you make. How many people do you know that are your friends that are looking to make some extra money? You bring them here, together we help them do that, you're going to make a lot of money just because you help them. Cool. This got me also excited because I said, man, I don't know if I can do this. But I knew people that would be good at this. I said I'm not good at sales, but I knew people that were good at sales. I knew people that were confident. When I saw this, I realized, if I just bring in people that are better than me, and they get started, I'm going to get check match based on how well they do. So everybody wins. Don't you want to be in an environment where everybody wins?
Yep.
Dude, that's why everybody's getting excited and everybody's getting started, everybody's helping each other out. I love it. Right? So that's all that, right? So that's pretty much, there's other bonuses which we're going to talk about. So what I really want to show you right now is how to get started. right? So by now, right, I know you're very, very excited. You want to get started because everybody does, right? So what happens to get started, here's what you're going to do. Your job once you get started is all you're going to do is get customers and get customer getters. That's all. That's it. Get customers and get customer getters. And we're going to train you how to do that. Guess what the company does? Everything else. So you're going to have all the benefits of a business, but none of the headaches. But the only thing we ask you to do, though, is buy a product package one time. The reason why we ask you to do that, because you can agree with me, right? What if we didn't show you the products? Would you have the same confidence and belief in the company and the products? No. So we got to show it to you, because guess what? If we just explain it, it's another skincare company. But if we show it to you, guess what happens? You have belief and confidence in the company, and you want to get started. So there's 3 packages. Just click on the next screen. It's on the back, right? So what I do at this point is I flip it over. Is there another one? Can we do it? No?
Scroll down.
Scroll down. There you go. Okay, so you flip it over. Okay, there's a reason why it's set up this way. Okay, so what happens is there's 3 packages that you can choose to get started with. And honestly, get started wherever you're comfortable at. Wherever you're comfortable at, that's where you should get started. But I also want you to know that different packages have different benefits. So let me explain to you. The first package is the Secret Agent package. The reason why you start off with the biggest package because they see the biggest number. They're like, oh my god, that's a lot. And then they look at the next one, and guess what? Their point of reference is going to be a lot different. Does that make sense? So number 1 is the Secret Agent package, Special Agent package. The Special Agent package is what all the super serious people get. The reason why they obviously get this package, because number 1 is $1,450, but they get $3,700 worth of product. Look at all the products they get. They get a lot of products. They get all the blue line, they get double the flagship products, which is all the masks, and they also get the whole green line set. That's why a lot of people get this, so they can have everything to show to people. Okay? But not only that, but you see these little pins on the side? What that means is when you get started with the Special Agent, you're going to start as a bronze. And I'll share with you what those benefits are in a little bit, but that pretty much means a 50% pay increase. Obviously, because you're more committed, you're going to get more benefits. Okay? And the next thing, that little pin means you're superstar eligible, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit, which is amazing. You're going to be superstar eligible. That's why a lot of people get that, because of the benefits. And because you get a lot of products, okay? Now, the second package a lot of people get is the premium package. And that one's like, you should at least get that one. Why? Because you can make your money back faster. Right? The premium package, I already said to you, superstar eligible, it's $550, but it's $1,300. You see how it's less expensive than the Special Agent, but you also see how you can also get less products. That's why, because the bigger the package, the more products you get. That's all you're spending money on. It's like Forever 21. You gotta buy the clothes, right? Now, it's basic. The basic package, obviously not a lot of people, that's what people get if they're like really scared or hesitant. They just want to try it out or whatever it is. And here's what I know: everybody that gets a basic, they always upgrade. That's why I always tell people, look, just start with a bigger package because you're gonna have to do it anyways. It'll save you on shipping. But the basic package just pretty much gives you the basic products to demonstrate and to show people how it works. And it's $150, but you get $382 a product. Obviously, it's a lot less expensive than premium. That's because you get a lot less product. Okay. Now, when I saw that, I got excited because I said, man, this is a lot different because it's not one of those companies where you either spend money and you get nothing. I see that when you actually spend money, you're actually getting great products that actually work. That's why I was excited. Now what we do is I switch back to the other one. So if we can, switch back to the other screen. Okay, so once you show that to them, okay? Once you show that to them, then you go to 8, 9, and 10. Does that make sense? See, the common mistake people make is they show all the benefits, and then they tell people how much money it's going to cost. But what happens is, if the last thing they're going to see is how much it's going to cost, guess what they're going to focus on? How much it costs. See, the thing about broke people is they focus on cost. Wealthy people, successful people focus on value. So what we end them with is not cost, it's value. Does that make sense? Not cost, but what? Value. So we show the package, we go, but look, let me show you how fast you can make your money back. See, when you first get started, step 8, okay, is you want to reach a position of superstar in your first 20 days. Now there's other positions that you're going to be hitting in between that's going to help you already make the majority of your money back, which is cool. But once you reach the position of superstar, that's like a special rank bonus. It's very, very exciting. We have people do that in a day, but they come give you 20 days to do it. All we do in your first 28 days, we help you get 4 customers. Not you get it, we help you get 4 customers, and we help you sign up 2 people. You get the job done, guess what? You're going to get an iPad mini, or $250 cash, plus enroller bonuses up to about $500, not even including your promotion bonuses, which will add up to another $300. So really, your first 30 days, going through all the ranks, becoming a superstar, through our simple proven system, what's going to happen is you're going to make about $600 to $700 in bonuses and money, not including all the other bonuses, plus an iPad mini or $250 cash. Now, let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you got started with us, and 30 days from now you walked away with another $800 to $1,000 worth of bonuses and gifts and prizes? How much more confident are you going to be? How much more excited you're going to be? And that's why we're excited to get you started. We're excited to get you to that point, because once you're excited, you're going to do a lot more. But what's crazy about that is when you get started, you're not going to be by yourself. Because we have full training support. We're going to help you out every step of the way. We're going to walk you through it. We're going to teach you how to do it. right? So we have full team support. We have online training. We have this. We have our own group page that we're going to add you to, welcome you to. It's a big community that you can see a lot of results that people are having, right? And not only that, but you can ask questions, share motivational quote stories, all these other things. It's a big community, right? We have Commerce Hall is going to help you build it. We have something called Seacret University, which is a training system that every week we're going to train you how to build a business. It's very hands-on, and you know, a lot of personal development. We're going to introduce you to the right books, the right CDs, and you're really going to go out there. You're really going to get a lot of help. Because again, if you do 0 sales, you get 21% of 0, which is what? 0. And then guess what? I get 15% of 0, which is what? 0. And on top of that, your friends going to get 20% of 0, which is what?
0.
Do you think we want that?
No.
So we're going to train you and help you how to do that. And the big picture, okay? Big picture. I know a lot of people when they get started, they just want to make their money back, which is great. But I already know you're making money back, so let's talk about what's going to happen after that. See, the promotion system, what's cool is when you go out there and do the work, you're automatically get promoted. You start off one-time bonus, an extra 500 as a Royale, all the way to an extra $1 million as a Crown Royale. What would you do an extra $1 million bonus? What got me excited is the monthly bonus. They give you a monthly bonus every single month just by being in that position. For an extra 500 to an extra 600, 6,000. That means every month just by being in that position, you're going to get that paycheck every single month whether you work or not. So boom, you know, that's pretty much everything. And so after that, you show that to them, you're like, I know, and then, you know, you show them all the information. They're not going to remember half of it, but you're excited, you're confident, you let them the whole way. And then afterwards, because you know they're going to benefit from it, right? How many of you can agree that everybody can benefit from this? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay? So now, how you close is very, very simple. There's another closing training that you can watch the video on, but very lightly, here's what's going to happen. If your rep, it's always better if the rep closes his own friend. If the rep closes his own friend, it's more effective because there's a relationship there. So if Andrew's confident, and he's going to close Justin, this is how it's going to look like. I'm going to tell Andrew, I'm going to prep Andrew before. I'm like, Andrew, it's more important that you close him. So as a presentation, you got to be excited, you got to be confident, and you got to look at your friend like, I know you're going to kill this girl. I'm excited for us to do this together. Boom. Let's get the paperwork out of the way. That's what he's going to say. And I'm going to say, I'm going to let you two talk. I'm going to walk away and make a phone calls. I'm going to come back and help you out and tell you what to do next. You see how it works? It's something close. Andrew's going to be confident because everybody's getting excited. Look at Justin like, bro, I'm so excited for you to get started with us. Dude, I know you're going to kill it. I'm excited to work together. With confidence. But if Andrew's not going to close because he's scared, he's nervous or brand new, guess what? I'm going to do it. Okay? If you're brand new, you can still close. Just be jacked and excited to know where you're going to go. Does that make sense? But I'm going to look at Justin because it's more important. Before and after, you see how this is so important. I'm going to look at Justin and I'm going to say, Justin, what did you like best about what you saw? So based on everything I shared with you, Justin, I know that, you know, by now you can see the company's a perfect fit for you and you know you're going to kill it. But based on everything I showed you, what would you say stood out the most that you liked the best?
The money.
The money. Perfect. That's why I like the money too. I like how much money you can make, everything. I totally agree with you. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get the paperwork out of the way, man. I'm excited to work with you. Boom. You see how that works? Something, right? Then you take out the paperwork. Boom. Confident, fast. And you go, let me see your driver's license so I can make sure I saw your information correctly. Let me see your driver's license so I can make sure, you know, I fill your information correctly. He's going to take out his driver's license because you asked him. He's going to respond, authority figure. And you go, is this how you want your name appearing in your checks? Boom, 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 boom. What's, you know, your social for tax purposes, blah, 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 blah. You know, we're going to have training on how to fill it out, but that gives you an idea of how to do it. And up until that point, that's when if they have questions or rebuttals, they're going to start asking, they're going to throw it out there. And up until that point, guess what we're going to do? We're going to answer those objections, and we're going to do that. But that's another training. But this is training which is based on showing you how to do a sit down. How many of you can agree that we're a lot more confident, a lot more excited to go out there and do sit downs?
Yes.
How many of you can agree with me that there's a lot more to it than just showing people the information? It's about our intentions of why we do what we do, yes or yes?
Yes.
So now, I encourage you to go out there, make a commitment that you're not yet presenting, that you're committed to setting up a ton of appointments and watching your upline present as much as possible. Make a commitment that when this video comes out, that you're going to study this video as much as possible, that you're not only going to learn just what to say, but how to say it confidently. And I know that, you know, in the next near future, you're going to have a huge team of hundreds and thousands because of what we do today. Because if you can sign up one, here's the good news. You can sign up 1,000.
Yeah.
You can sign up 1,000, guess what? You can sign up 10,000. All you build is one person at a time. So that being said, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for joining in. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on the bottom, send me an email, add me on my Facebook, whatever it is, and I'll get back to it as soon as possible. With that being said, thank you for all joining us, and excited to see what results you're going to have in the near future. Thank you. Woo!